Actually, she has been talking to this guy by the time he was in prison, and she has been Woolworth Food.
Yeah.
And the picture made round.
Kezo, oswika ngwana mani seyifikile evikini ngwani iviki ro saseka kuri a wonderful afternoon. Yeah, nifamba na yena my co-host ngaina Buti Robert wako makasiyandani va ta hi hlamusela ku vona va huma kwini va ri kwini va ri njhani va ta va ri njhani ka siku ra namuntlha.
Ya va karhi va mi hlamuserile ku Buti Robert va huma kasiyandani mara va ri va fanele va ta ti hlamusela futhi hi voxe nakambe mara ha mi amukela ka siku ra namuntlha ku ri ra ntlhanu ro saseka kona kwala ka the best, the most anticipated podcast.
Yeah,
The phenomenal one
of the most.
Yeah, hi ri karhi ku amukela eka siku ra namuntlha a hi karhi hi fambi ri yexe namuntlha hi mina hi wena mara
ku na un'wani ka riqingho hi kha hi vulavurisana na yena, one of my brother. Yeah, he hosts one of the best shows ku nga authentic info podcast.
a ku hlutiwanga nchumu laha ka yona loko leyo ka ku hlutiwanga nchumu hinkwaswo swi ta dewe swi nga xiswona
n'wana mani loko o languta u ya yi languta u yi tshamela u ta swi tiva ku hey that guy wa hisa wa vila hi na yena ka riqingho namuntlha hi kha hi vulavurisana na yena hi burisana na yena hi timhaka ta Thabo Bester laha a nga ta hi hlamusela vuxokoxoko na more info hi twa hi ku humelela yini hi mhaka leyi ya case ya Thabo Bester na yena Senzo Mayiwa na leyi yi nga humelela emisaveni leya Afrika-Dzonga. Welcome to the laughter.
Nkhensa ku invite ka podcast leya matimba swinene.
Welcome. Minjhani na?
Yeah. Kona minjhani?
Hayi na fikile. ami ngo chongolela swintsongo nyana mi hi byela. Just tell us a little about the case of Thabo Bester. What is it about?
First of all, I'd like to reintroduce myself and to confirm that I'm speaking to the founder of Authentic Info Podcast. I am Admire Sandile Chauke. I am a founder of Authentic Info Podcast, which deals with authentic information. What we do is that we talk to people who have stories to tell. We talk to people who have businesses. We talk to any professionals. We talk to people who have certain views on particular topics, just to hear the story from the horse's mouth. But for today, we're going to talk about. Actually, you guys are going to get my views based on knowledge and experience. Since I work for the Department of Personal Services, and just not to speak on behalf of the department, but to give my views based on what is happening.
Yeah.
And to give an insight.
Yeah.
For example, the hype is that this Thabo Bester is one of the most dangerous criminals, but when he's in prison, he's treated like any other inmate. But you must keep in mind that I am not the spokesperson of the Department of Correctional Services.
Yeah.
I'm just giving views like any other person who's interested in this case, because at the end of the day, after my shift, I'm still a person.
Yeah. Today,
and I have different views. Like I can't say that what the minister say, I must stand by it, and I'm not here to oppose the Minister of Correctional Services.
Yes.
Neither to the Minister of Home Affairs.
Yeah.
But I think before we speak about that case, we must just we must just give a background of what is the Department of Correctional Services and what is it that happens there. And then before we speak about the Senzo Mayiwa case, especially what is happening now, people must understand what happened there.
Yes.
Why are we here?
Yeah.
So I don't want to give direction to this interview, but what I want to say is that you guys must just give me a chance to take it slow, step by step.
Yes,
Step by step.
Exactly. You have the platform is yours.
Take over.
So on the Thabo Bester issue, number one is a prison escape that transpired early last year, but the public got to know about that case early this year.
Yeah.
So there's a sound. I don't know whether it's from my. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So what happened is what they say, or what they told us, or what we get from the Department of Correctional Services is that Thabo Bester died in prison in his cell. That was the report of the Department of Criminal Services, which was issued last year.
Mm.
And nobody asked anything because the conclusion was that Thabo Bester died in his single cell.
Last year.
Last year.
Last year, yes. I'm not sure of the date, but it was early last year, or whether it was May or April.
3rd of May,
Yes.
yeah.
So the guy lived his life. No one entertained him because everyone had the conclusion that he died in prison in a cell. He was bent beyond recognition.
Yes.
But earlier this year, there is an independent investigator. I don't know whether it's a media company or investigator or whatever. These guys broke different news from what we had last year. They had pictures of Thabo Bester doing shopping at Woolies, Woolworth Food.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the picture made round. And then people started to question, what is it that is happening? But by the time the pictures were making rounds, the Department of Criminal Services was quiet.
Yes.
And then people pushed that case through Twitter, and they used influencers to question and check even the Department of Correctional Services and the minister until they came to the part to get back and investigate on what really transpired. And then that is when we found information that no, actually Thabo Bester did not die. The person who was burned beyond recognition, it's just a corpse which was smuggled into prison. Now, before we go there, you need to understand that Thabo Bester was serving a life sentence and some couple of years in the private security prison in Mangaung,
Yeah.
run by G4S.
Correct.
And you also need to understand that even though it's a private security prison, it is still regulated by the Department of Criminal Services.
Yeah.
So we have two private, there are two private prisons in South Africa. One in Mangaung, one in Venda. But now we're going to speak about the one that is in Mangaung.
Correct. Yes.
So after the news broke that this guy might be alive, they started to investigate. People started to question the department and the minister. And then another name came to the party of Dr. Nandi Pamaguduma.
Yes. Yes.
Dr. Nandi Pamaguduma happened to be a makwapeni of this inmate.
Yeah.
And she has been talking to this guy by the time he was in prison, and she has been with him after prison, and they have been doing business together. One interesting story was a video which people went to dig, where celebrities were invited at a gala dinner or business conference.
Yeah. I think I saw that one. Yeah.
Yes, where Thabo Bester told them that he is in America and he couldn't attend the meeting physically, but he was in prison.
Was he using the name of Thabo Motsepe?
He was Tom Motsepe.
Come again?
Tom Motsepe.
Oh, Tom Motsepe, yes.
So there are many names that he was using while he was scamming people, while he was inside and by the time he was outside. He was running an agency looking for influencers to promote brands. But there was no such thing. Actually, he was scamming people. So I don't want to complicate these things. I think it will be wise for you to ask questions so that we can take it step by step. Because when I give the background, I'm going to touch different things, and then we end up speaking. I end up speaking alone for an hour.
No worries. So let's talk about the recent court appearance. We see Dr. Nandi Pamagudumana appearing at court visually. What was the reason? Why wasn't she able to appear in person at court?
The reason she's appearing in court is because she aided an escape, and she was arrested together when they rearrest Thabo Bester in Tanzania.
Oh, okay. The question was, she is appearing in court, but not in person, but appearing seems like she's appearing in court
Virtually,
yes. Meaning that she's not there in the courtroom.
Oh, Okay. No, there are different types of appearance. In prison, there are cameras.
Yes.
For security reasons, sometimes they see no need for an inmate to be present at court physically.
Okay.
So within the prison cells, they go to the top where there are single cells, there are cameras.
Yes.
So a person can attend under supervision and guarding
Oh.
from the Department of Criminal Justice. So the cameras are there in each and every prison.
Oh, so it is possible. Okay, so it is not something that is new. It is possible for someone to be in court, but not in court, to attend the court proceedings, not being in court physically. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Now we understand, like for security reason, as you have said.
So
yeah, for example, even a child, when a child is a witness, the child is not exposed to a courtroom. They use those cameras.
Oh, okay. So what about the makeup that they apply when they go to appearances?
No, remember, you must understand that she has not yet been found guilty. She still has rights as a person who is outside. Because if she can get bail today, she's still going to enjoy everything that me and you I can't even enjoy today, because she has not yet been found guilty. So she's entitled to a private private clothing. She can eat takeaways every day if she can afford them.
Innocent.
Because it's allowed. Yes.
So,
because anytime she can go out.
okay. So what about Thabo Bester? Let's focus on Thabo Bester now. I want to understand what Thabo Bester. I heard that he will be rearrested again and re-executed again.
Thabo Bester already, what happened when they captured him in Tanzania, that was a rearrest, because already was serving a sentence. Already was serving a sentence in the Department of Correctional Services. So what's going to happen is that he's going to continue serving these years, whatever they are going to sentence him again for, which will not be more than 3.5 years by the way. He's going to serve them after.
Oh, so okay, so the years that is going to be sentenced now, they are going to be added on whatever it is that is serving now. After serving his current sentence, then he will also serve. Did you say not more than 3 years?
Yeah, because that's the hype that's outside, because people don't understand. When a person escapes prison, he cannot serve more than 3.5 years if that person is rearrested for escaping prison. What happens is that the person must come back to prison, serve his sentence, unless if after escaping he committed other crimes. But since he's already serving life, all those years still they will run concurrently, but it will depend on what the judge will say. But still, all those years are going to be not more than a life sentence.
So it means that, you see, the crimes that have been committed for him to escape prison, because you see there is a corpse that was smuggled into prison, meaning meaning that there is a dead body that was brought into prison before his escape. I understand that one, you can be sentenced so many years or whatever years that you can be sentenced for escaping prison, but there are those things that happen, those crimes that were committed for him to find himself outside.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard that the prosecutor or the NPA, National Prosecuting Association or authority removed or discharged the murder case upon them.
From Besta or
the whole accused?
No, there is an act that regulates what happens when you maybe do something with a corpse. Because now we are dealing with a body of a dead person.
Not a living.
Yeah, not a living person.
We cannot call it kidnapping, because then...
Yeah. Like when there are people who sleep with corpses, who have sex with corpses. But that thing cannot be called rape. I just forgot. but there's an act that regulates that.
Oh, okay.
So I think they might have withdrawn those charges because they want to introduce new charges.
Okay. Oh, because there were speculations that there's a chance that the person could have been killed, could have been alive before he was taken into prison. Could have been alive before they found him, and then maybe probably he was murdered by the team. That was the speculation. So that is the case that was dismissed of murder. Oh, so it has been concluded that the person that was a dead body. That was a dead.
That was was found in a mortuary.
Okay.
But there are still investigations that are happening because whatever that is out there, it's still speculation. You still need evidence. The state still needs proof.
Yes.
Yeah. Because even if Nandipa can go there and decide to keep quiet, they cannot just charge her and sentence her. They still need to prove whatever charges that they have on her. Even if she keeps quiet, even if the legal team can go there and say, we are not guilty, we leave it for the state to prove. The state will still have a duty to go and look for evidence to prove that the bodies that, because they say it's 3 bodies, not 1.
3.
Because they had to look for a perfect fit. But still, even that guy who they went to ban in prison was not of the same height with Thabo Bester. Yeah, so it is upon the state to prove that whatever body which was smuggled into prison, whether the body was already dead or alive, or the person who smuggled that body, they went to kill that guy, things like that. It is upon the state to prove beyond reasonable doubt before you can say Nandipa is guilty of murder or her father is guilty of murder. But the obvious aiding and escape, it's a collective crime. Like, it needs a lot of people to collaborate. A lot of charges are still going to be introduced to that docket.
Yeah.
This case is...
There's a lot happening here.
Yeah, South Africa is just...
But we need to understand that if the state could just push the case of Thabo Bester, take him back to prison, it will be a disadvantage to those people who assisted him in escaping, those people who he slept with when he was outside, those who knew that he is outside but he is known to be dead. There are still a lot of people who, there's still a lot of people who are going to be charged for his escape and his 11 months outside. So I think the state must first deal with him, and then after, then they will deal with the rest. Because if he can be given a chance to go back to prison, he's going to cook statements, because they're the best at that, because there are professors in prison, there are lawyers, judges, people who are judges and things like that. So they will help him to cook this case. So I think they must go together until the end.
But then now, I think maybe I'm not getting the story straight, but now I think they postponed the case to the 23rd of June, if I'm not mistaken. Why are they...
Bail application.
Yes. Why are they keep postponing the case? Why is that happening?
You need to understand that the state is still introducing new charges. So there is a fear that if they can give this person a bail, since this person can go outside South Africa with false documents, since this person has the ability to smuggle out one of the dangerous criminals, there's always that doubt that if we can leave this person outside, probably some of the evidence that we need we're not going to find.
Oh, so
that is why. So they are postponing it because they still need evidence to prove so that they can object to that application for pay.
Oh, okay. So they need to find information to determine that she is a flight risk.
Yeah, because they have to prove to the presiding officer that this person is a flight risk, and they must prove that through evidence.
Okay, I think for the Thabo Bester case, I will need us to recover on that case after the 23rd. There are more questions that I really need to ask specifically deeply. But before we wrap up the topic, I want us to know now, because Thabo Bester was moved from Mangaung prison to another prison. What is the difference between the two prisons?
The difference is that he escaped in that prison, which means that prison is not safe for him.
Oh,
The fact that he has already escaped, it means that it is weak. The security, he can crack that security again. So there is that fear.
so
Number two, you remember that the Department of Correctional Services is still dealing with G4S, and I think they withdrawn that contract. They cancelled that contract with G4S. So there is still that up and down that is happening in Free State. But he is here in Kosimampuru. But people who work in prison will tell you that where he is not one of the secure prisons in South Africa. But that's a question for another day.
but just a little bit. I know it's a question for another. But you know, with this one, we'll need to the next time. Let's as you have said, it's a question for another day. Let's leave it for another day, because then I would like to know, because we have the maximum security prisons in South Africa and Supermax. You know, there are those super maximum security prisons in South Africa. We'll talk more about that. But where he was, what kind of a prison was it? Where he escaped?
Where he escaped, it was just a private prison.
No, it's not classified as maximum security or
Minimum.
They say it's a maximum security, but we know the maximum security prison in South Africa.
or it's called a maximum security prison.
Yeah, because actually most of these prisons, they have a maximum facility within.
Oh, there's a maximum security facility within the prisons.
Within the prison.
Okay.
So if for example, there's this guy, I just forgot his actually. Okay, let me not mention names because this is not authentic info.
Yeah.
So when an inmate is classified to be a flight risk, high escape risk, and things like that,
Yes.
they check for prisons which are more secure for that type of classification, and then they send that inmate.
Yeah.
So there are inmates who are not escape risk, but they are problematic. They are always disturbing other inmates and officials. So they have to be sent to correctional centers which have that type of setup to discipline them.
Okay.
So with these two private prisons, if you can check most popular inmates, they've been there. If you can check politicians and things like that, they've been there. People who did heists and things like that, they've been there. And then ask yourself another question. Why don't we have information of the prisons escape from these two private security prisons? Which means there's a manga business that's going on there. So they can't be secured. What's happening is that if you have money, you can be transferred to that private prison to have a private life. The Thabo Bester saga has proven that.
Oh, so basically, the prisoners that they are the high profile or the high class, those ones that are, we can say that they are of high class, the ones that go there.
Yeah.
The ones who have money, as you have said, the politicians and
business people,
yeah.
So let's do a little of touch up on the case. Kelly Kumalo and Senzo Mayiwa. So
there's no Kelly Kumalo there, unless if
the accused. Then let me put it there. Let me say the alleged accused.
She's not even an accused.
No, she's not even an accused. But just say
okay.
Let's just say the Senzo Mayiwa case.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Because I heard Zandile Kumalo saying that Kelly Kumalo held a gun and shoot Senzo Mayiwa while they were testifying or they were witnessing while he was.
What did you say?
Come again?
What did Zandi say? He said Kelly Kumalo pointed a gun on Senzo Mayiwa.
On Senzo Mayiwa, yes.
And then what? Actually, I didn't understand the question first before
I think
you spoke about.
Zandi Kumalo was cross-examined.
Okay, yeah. I saw that question. Yeah.
Yes, and then there's a point where Zandi Kumalo alleged said something that Kelly Kumalo pointed a gun at Senzo.
You know what's happening in that case? Before we speak about Kelly Kumalo and Zandi,
Yes.
there are people who are accused, who are in the dock, actually who are in trials, and then they're attending that trial from prison. So people need to understand that one thing that led to those people to be arrested and be charged also with the Senzo Mayo case, it's not that there's evidence which they found that links them directly.
Yeah.
No. Those guys used a firearm in one of the hostels here in Joburg.
Yeah.
And then when they collected the empty cartridges, they found out that the firearm which was used to shoot one of the taxi bosses I just forgot. I just mentioned his name in a hostel. It's the same gun which was used to kill Senzo Meio. But in law, you have to know that there's character evidence and things like that. That if you kill today and then someone dies tomorrow, it doesn't mean that the killer will be you because you are known to have killed one. So those guys are there because of that firearm. So there are accused people who are there, but we are not talking about them. We are focusing on the people who have direct knowledge of the event. These are the witnesses.
Oh, those guys.
No one knows them.
It's not that. It's not that they shot or there's evidence that they shot Senzo, but the weapon that was used to kill another, to shoot one of the taxi bosses, as you have put it, is the same weapon. When they checked the slug, they saw that it's the same weapon that was used to kill Senzo.
Yes.
So those guys are they being charged with anything, or they are being witnesses on this Senzo Meyo?
No, they are charged of killing Senzo. Those are the Senzo Meyo killers. The others are the witnesses. What's Andy Kumalo and the rest?
They are witnesses. They are just witnesses.
Yes, but they don't know those guys.
They do not know those guys.
They don't know them. Yeah. Actually, anyone should have been in that box like that guy. Those guys had that gun been on your hand.
In their position, yes.
Yes. So, okay, now let's talk about Zandi Kumar. Zandi was there, but she says he was in another room when everything transpired.
Yeah.
But she knows the sticks which were used to, one of the guys had walking sticks, whatever. How did she know that there was that scuffle which happened?
He said there was what?
She says that one of the guys was using crunches, which they used to hit one of them. But how do you hit someone who is in position of a firearm?
And the stick that she's talking about, and she's talking about the stick and saying that when everything transpired, she was in the room.
She was in the bedroom. Okay, another loophole. Another loophole. There's a recording of the same year when Senzo was shot. They interviewed Longwe Twala.
Yeah.
Who is the son of Chico Twala. It's known.
Yeah.
The friend. Yeah. So when they interviewed Longwe, he said he ran away when those guys came in, and he left his phone inside, and then they took the phones, they took everything, they shot Senzo, they left, and then when he came back, he called his father. How? Which phone did he use? Because he left his phones and then those guys took the phone. Oh, there are many loopholes. So the people who I think personally, not your podcast, I think the people who knows what happened to Senzo are the people who were there. His two friends, the mother of Kelly Kumalo, and Zandi. They know what happened.
Oh, so the son of Chico was there as well, but ran away when they came in.
Okay, another background. Here's another background. Chico Twala's son was in love with Zandi Kumar, the sister of Kelly Kumar.
Yeah.
And then there's information that there's an apartment where Zandi and Kelly Kumalo was staying. And one day he came back to find Zandi Kumalo and Senzo Meyi. And then there's another information that states that these two were mingling.
Zandi and Senzo.
And Kelly and Senzo Meyi while he was dating Kelly Kumalo. So Senzo Meyi, Chico Twala's son freaked out because he was suspicious. And then he has known cases of drugs, of using drugs. It's known he was arrested. He even served a term in the Department of Criminal Services in Johannesburg, in something. It's known. He's been found with in possession of drugs a couple of times. Even his father spoke about that. There's a recording, there's a video where he said they must log him out and throw the keys away. So even his father knows that his son is directly using drugs, directly involved with drugs.
Yeah.
So with that background, it tells you something about what might have transpired. I'm not saying it happened, and I'm not saying he's the one who saw it.
Want to speculate.
Yeah. I'm saying that it will give us another angle that the state is afraid
of talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Why was he present? Why does what type of a man runs away and leaves ladies behind?
He said he left the phones. Were the phones recovered from the crime scene?
No.
The phones that he claims to
but everyone there was making calls that day. How did they call Chico Twala? They used the phone. Why did they call Chico Twala first?
Why call Chico Twala first? Hey, there's
more to the story. Yeah.
Why? Because before we hear that what Kelly Kumalo and Zandi are saying on Twitter, threatening people. No. They were there. They must tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Why did they clean? They know that the police must come. The crime scene, the house automatically turns into a crime scene.
Yes.
Why did they clean?
You are not supposed to.
These are the questions. Are the questions which I think the state should ask.
Yeah.
Now that they agree to come and testify.
Yeah, because now when we look at it, you see, something happens. You are supposed to call the police first.
Yes.
But then the first call that was made was to Twala. But then that aside, there is the part of cleaning. Why do you clean
the crime scene?
The crime scene. You know, everybody knows that you are not even supposed to touch anything.
Yeah.
For the police to know where to get the fingerprints and whatever has to be found there, you go and clean. But then they did the cleaning. Why did they do the cleaning before?
Same night.
The same. How can you clean if you were to tell me that you took a shower, you took a bath, you ironed, or maybe you pegged some clothes. But even if clothes were scattered around the room, you are not supposed to touch them. You are not supposed to move them, because then that is a crime. That is something that we want the police to see, that this is what those guys did when they got here. But then you clean. After cleaning, how do you expect the police to know or to find what exactly happened? Because then it raises a suspicion that something was being covered up there.
Yeah, that's not a cover.
How do you get the strength to clean when you are panicking? Someone has just been killed in your own home. Then you get up and you clean.
Yeah.
Not to get to a point where we even ask questions such as to ask, is there not is there no cleaner hired? Was there no person who was hired to clean the house and whatever? But then they did the cleaning themselves the same night.
Yeah. And they didn't inform the parents of the deceased. They first informed Chico Twala and their friends.
Yeah.
Before informing.
Not even the cops.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey.
Why? And everyone who tried back then to crack this case is dead on the SAPS side. Every major brigadier who tried, by the time they were about to crack the case, they die. They resign and go stay somewhere. Why? So they are threats.
Every cop, every police officer.
South Africa is
was
so
there.
corrupt. Yo.
Every police officer who was the first respondent on the case, who was the investigator, they either died or they are no longer there.
Yeah, they ran out.
Yeah. You die or you resign. Take your change and leave.
Yeah, that's something. That's something, eh?
Yeah, that's what transpired. So I think the rawness of this case should be. I mean, it's easy to understand what happened or what might have happened, because everyone other than Senzo Meiwa who was in that house, they are still here.
They are still here.
They just don't want to speak. But the most betrayers are his friends, especially the one who he just called to say come over the weekend, and then he's refusing to tell the country what happened to his best friend.
The person who was there.
Yeah, his friend.
I mean, you were there.
Yeah.
But is there no way that the state can subpoena them to?
He was giving evidence, but it's not. He's even angry at the advocate Mshololo because he doesn't want to speak the truth, but he knows what happened, because what he said and what Zandi is saying, completely different things. It's like you are interviewing people who the other one is the neighbor on the right, the other one is the neighbor on the right. They will even close their ears. They don't know what happened. They're just making up stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Eh?
But these people were in one house, a very small house, by the way, the size of an RDP, that house.
I mean,
so there's no way that you don't know what happened while you were there. No one was in the bedroom or something.
But even if you are in the bedroom, if you are in the bedroom when it is transpiring, even if you are in the bedroom when it is all happening, how is it that you have your phone there? Why not call the police when it's happening? Because you are in the house, in the another room. You can hear what is going on outside.
Yes.
But it seems as if they were drinking, these people. They were before the intruders came, these people were enjoying themselves. They were in the sitting room. I think they were celebrating for the achievement of Senzo.
But
yes, they were drinking actually.
And immediately the intruders came, everyone was running. So they should have seen something.
There was no intruder there. They must tell us the truth. It happened among themselves.
We need to know the truth. We need to know the truth as to what happened, what exactly happened there. Because if we are in the same place, even if our stories are different, but there should be similarities somewhere, not being completely different. You know, if we are talking about someone coming in the house, even if we are not looking at the same thing, we are not looking from the same angle, but
we should be able to explain what transpired.
You know, if you and I, Sagwadne, we are in the same room and someone comes in. If that person comes in and we are to give an account of what happened there, what I say, even if I have said something that you have not said and you have said something that I have not said, those things like what you have said and I have not said should be filling in the gaps of what I have not said. Correct. Just like that.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah,
not being not saying that when he came in, there were two people who came in together at the same time, and I say, oh, one person came in, and then 5 minutes later another one comes in. Then that does not add up.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, the people who were there, the people who were enjoying Senzo's money, must tell us who killed him. But I know it's not easy.
It's not easy. I don't know. Maybe it's because they do not want to expose something, or maybe they're trying to cover up something, or maybe they are afraid that other people will be charged. Because then,
No, it also seems like there are a lot of high profiles involved because when you check, we expect the likes of Julius Malema to push that type of case. But and we cannot say that they are tired. It's back in court. They must talk about it. We expect Emin Mashava. We expect the National Commissioner of the Police, even the Minister of Police, to speak about that case, to put pressure on the officials,
so
even the NPA, so that they can push, so that you can conclude.
yes, you know, because
But everyone is quiet.
you know, Senzo was not just a person. He was someone who was like, he's a well-known person. Just like any other case, when they make a whole lot of noise when they talk about when something else happens. Now about our best, people are commenting left, right, and center. But no, why not this case? Because now it's back in court.
And another thing that is raising concerns, it's that Zandile and Kelly Kumalo, they spoke with Netflix so that they can agree to make this case be aired or on Netflix. So they were paid something like 43 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Why Zandile is now saying that I don't want to appear on the screens?
No, I saw a message. I saw actually a post. I think it was on Instagram or Twitter. So she said this thing came through a dream, and she knows that the dreams do come true. That since everyone is charged and sentenced there with the murder of Senzo, so there's no need for them to see them in court. We can only, actually, they didn't even want us to hear what they were saying.